What up? Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Finster, Pinterest, SoundCloud, SoundClick. It's like 1 in the morning, and I don't have a shirt on, so I'm kind of, you know. But listen, I'm gonna do this video about being a vegan. Like, okay, so I went to Applebee's the other day, and I actually went in there and was like, you know what, I don't really want anything with meat in it, but Applebee's is not the place to go for a vegan meal. But I was like, yo, do you have a vegan diet? And it was like, no, we don't have one. So I end up getting my usual like chicken and whatever. But I have been eating a lot of just meals with no meat. And I thought I was gonna have a hard time because I've been eating meat all my life, and I'm like 49. So, but what I noticed is I noticed a difference immediately. Uh, so I still eat meat. But I don't eat a lot of it. And I just bought a whole refrigerator full of chicken, and turkey and whatever. But I'm like, I just don't want to eat that stuff. So here's what I've been eating. And I'm gonna have to get a vegan, like a list of what vegans eat. But here's what I've been eating, and I'm gonna tell you why I've been eating or not eating some of this. One thing I have started eating is more green, like leafy green stuff. Because for a while I really wasn't eating like that. I eat a lot more rice. I eat potatoes a lot. So I love to eat potatoes because I lift weights, and I'm energetic to as much as I can be because I'm still injured. But nonetheless, my knees just my knee joints, they just hurt. But I'm trying to. I'm I don't know if I can get the cartilage back in my knees, but I know what I was eating wasn't helping. So I'm like, my knees are hurting, my back. I still have my back injury, and I was watching Dr. Sagan, and he was talking about your alkaline levels and what is man-made vegetables and what isn't. Like carrots are man-made vegetables, and people were saying that cauliflower and celery is all man-made, and he was talking about anything that doesn't have a certain alkaline level is either man-made or not man-made. And he was like, the reason why a lot of us are sick is simply because of we eat stuff that is animals, and their blood is mixing with our blood, which is making us sick, and also mucus. So he was like, he was talking about how he cured AIDS and how he cured diabetes, and and he basically did it by putting people on a particular diet and telling them to, hey, eat this, exercise, do this. The next thing you know, they were cured of AIDS, and of course, he went to a federal court, and the federal court pretty much, for one, they were going to imprison him, but he went up against him, and he was just like, I'm telling you right now, I can cure these major issues, and of course, he won because he was right. So I'm starting to get into that, and because I want to be healed, and basically the what we eat is not what we're supposed to be eating. My alkaline levels, I don't know what they are, but I'm going to start getting into them. But I know that I'm in pain every day, and I don't want to be in pain every day. I know that I'm overweight, so I'm starting to drop weight. It's hard, but I'm starting to drop weight. I dropped about 10 pounds recently, and I've been hitting the weights. I don't lift a lot of weight, but I lift a little bit of weight a lot of times. So I'm not trying to be like big or anything, but I'm already a big person. I'm 6'2". I'm 264 right now. So I'm a naturally tall person and sizable person. But nonetheless, what I'm trying to say is people, uh, we need to stop eating like the chicken, like this dude on World Star Hip Hop. he bought this frozen chicken, like chicken legs and wings. Then he put it next to another chicken leg and wings, and the ones that he's bought were so colossal; they were huge. And then when you look at videos like documentaries like Our Daily Bread, you look at that, and then you look at what they do to the chickens. And I used to work for at a chicken place as a security guard, so I've been to a chicken plant, a large one out in Alabama, Tyson's Foods actually. So I see, how the chickens are killed and how they bring them in and everything, but they're pumping these chickens up to make them bigger. And whatever they're putting in that is going into you. You know what I'm saying? So it's messing with us. Messing with, it's making us sick. It's been making us sick. So I guess a long story short is being a vegan is a good move. Now they're still putting herbicides and pesticides on a lot of stuff that we eat. So I'm even looking at taking it a step further and growing my own food. Now, I don't live in a house, I live in an apartment. So it's going to be a little, challenging. But I think I'm going to start planting my own little stuff around my, little space that I have. Oh, sorry, like I said, it's 1 in the morning. But it's just been weighing on me, heavy on my heart because we're supposed to eat a certain way, especially you people who are from other countries. You're not European. Like Europeans had problems with gout because of the meats that they were eating, and they weren't balancing out what they were eating. You know what I'm saying? They were just eating all kind of meats and rich meats, and they were messing them up. And but if you see like the Asians eat good, man. They eat a lot of fish. They eat a lot of rice. They eat a lot of beans and wheat and stuff like that. Now, some of you can't eat wheat, but I don't. Whatever your issue is, so I'm not telling you to eat something that you're not supposed to. What I'm saying is we need to change, just as a people period, black, white, Indian, whoever. If you're constantly sick, now black people are constantly sick. They're constantly coming down with high blood. I have high blood pressure. It just hit me, back when I was 31. I was like, why do I have high blood pressure and I'm running a mile in under 5 minutes? Like, I just didn't understand that. How is it possible that I can be I was 31. I was in great shape. I was still competing. Like I said, I could still run the mile in under 5 minutes. And I'm like, why? How do I have high blood pressure? You know what I'm saying? I ended up in a hospital one day. Just I drank some Mountain Dew. My heartbeat went up. It just skyrocketed. I never tasted Mountain Dew again. I never drank that stuff. It's horrible for you. But nonetheless, my heart rate went up and went to the hospital. They were like, "Well, you got high blood pressure, and this is what happened because you drank this Mountain Dew. You had a reaction to it. So I can't even drink that. Like you're not even supposed to drink stuff like that. So it had a it was a bad thing, but the adverse effect is I learned that, I started looking at Mountain Dew and yellow dye number 5 and how it can cause, your reproduction system to have less sperm. And for the woman, it can cause her canal to be, to shrink and make it more painful for her to have children, which means she doesn't want to have children. And they put this, I mean, there's all kind of stuff in sodas. There's all kind of stuff in, I mean, hell, we don't even know what's in our water anymore. How many of you actually go and get spring water? I don't mean you go to Kroger's. I mean you go to a spring and actually get your water. I'm gonna tell you something. I tasted well. I knew a woman who had a well, like a regular well, and she had well water, on in her house. Took a shower with it, in her sink. And I don't drink faucet water. But I was drinking her water and I was like, what is this? She was like, it's water. And I'm like, why does it taste so good? She said, it's well water. I was like, what? Like, what? Like, how is it possible that our water is like we can't drink our own faucet water without pretty much getting sick. And I'm not talking about like in Michigan get sick. I'm talking about just you can't stand the taste of your water. Like, who knew that was going to be sold in supermarkets? And then when we go get this water in this supermarket, we can no longer drink regular water out of the faucet, because that's what we did when we were kids. We drank regular faucet water. But I can't drink that water anymore. I have to go and buy water. You see the trick? Like, we're being bamboozled coming and going. It's just a mess. So I still wish I knew that lady, because I've been sending her emails. Hey, I would love to buy your well water like that. Oh my God, she lived a couple hours from here. I would go out there once a week and buy that woman's water. It was so good. So I'm just telling you, people, just giving you a heads up. I'm trying to change my diet. I'm not a complete non-meat eater, but I have been feeling better. My knees still hurt, but I can just tell the difference in within a week of just not eating meat. You know what I'm saying? So there's something to being a vegan, or in and or eating like fish. Like, I don't eat crawfish. I don't eat crabs. I don't eat lobster. I don't eat shrimp. I don't eat none of those. But I'm talking about like salmon and orange roughy and catfish or whatever. I don't even but stuff like that. So anyway, it's your boy Tone, just saying, watch what's going on in your body.